Welcome all to my updated walkthrough of the beginning trials here. So as you can see, I ate some extra hearts, defense, and stamina. I always recommend getting together whatever you feel would be the most beneficial to you on the inside. Something else to keep in mind, blood moon cooking, you can extend your meals out about 5 minutes. Of course, you might have to make a few attempts at that to get that bonus during that blood moon, but the more time you can buy yourself on the inside here, the better. So without any further ado, let's get to work. You're not going to have anything, kind of like Eventide Island, not a thing. What I like to do in here is just kind of the second they see me, run right through, skip up all the good stuff. Don't even give them a chance. Now there are hidden treasure chests throughout these levels. Actually, all the underground floors, there's a potential for treasure chests. Some may be hidden. If you don't already have it done, go ahead and update your Sheikah slate with treasure chests as the hunter. That will be extremely beneficial to you in here. It will help you to locate treasure chests that you would otherwise walk right past, or just kind of forget about and go on to the next round. Open every crate, every barrel. There's really nothing under the rocks here. It may not hurt to blow down a tree or two with your bombs. Just for the firewood, you never know when you might have to throw some quick ingredients on the barbecue, so to speak. And there are eggs in some of these, not all. I don't see them now. So, it's just always worth... Oh, there's some right there. Might always be worth checking the trees out, just for that very purpose. You're very, very limited in these challenges. So every little ingredient helps. Every piece of food helps. Now when we get down to the part where we're going to get to a cooking pot, which is going to be a few floors away, you're going to be able to cook with a cooking pot in there, as well as a fairy. You should have a fairy or two to pick up. I would normally say something's better than nothing, but to be honest, I don't think Karak leaves are really needed in this. I don't recall ever using one in my last walkthrough. But it never hurts to be prepared. Do take advantage of the tree branches here. Even when they break, they're still beneficial because they will still stun your enemy. Also, if you're only coming in here with, say, 12 or 13 heart containers, you might want to consider doing some more shrines. That preparation, all that work you put into preparation before coming here will really pay dividends. So you can finally get yourself a bow here. Not too many for arrows that come just yet. I want to say there's some arrows in these barrels. And careful using your bombs on these things. It's sometimes hard to track down with your bombs. Oops. I want to say there's a fire chew or two that'll be coming up. Oh, they're already here. Good times. There we go. Now I like to use these fire chews to my advantage. I want to say there's some treasure chests coming up. Maybe not on this floor, but the next. And you can use that updraft to your advantage to go up there and get those chests. Alright. Every arrow counts, so take your time and try to get those headshots in. Don't forget about that fire chew. Whoops, that's unfortunate. I'm just not hitting my headshots, am I? That defense is almost gone, so I need to start really paying attention to damage. Do be careful of those fire chews. If you let them roam around too much, they could start burning up your weaponry, or bows and arrows for that matter. Well, I'm not seeing too much else going on here. Little trick I picked up, actually replaying these things a few times to really start getting this stuff down a little better. You can actually use these fires. Oh, my eggs keep breaking. I don't understand that. Seems like every other egg breaks when you're trying to cook it. I've tried tossing 2 out at a time, 1 breaks. If I do 1 at a time, it's like every other one will break. So that's unfortunate. Alright, not too much else going on in this one that I can recall. I do need to get those crates opened up. Yeah, I had time to experiment around with some different tactics. I tried different elixirs coming in. And it seems like the one over and over again that I fall back on is the defense boost. And again, if you do the Blood Moon, you'll get more time out of that. Watching this walkthrough will help you to not waste a bunch of time. So you should have that defense elixir for quite a few floors into this challenge. So do strongly consider trying to get yourself a Blood Moon. Now, I want to say Blood Moons are somewhat not predictable, but you can actually work on getting one. Talk to the guy at the Dueling Peak stable. And he talks about moons in his moon research. Past time to nighttime to try to accelerate a blood moon. And he'll tell you if tonight's moon's a blood moon or not. Now the bad thing is on that is it rains there a lot. Okay, so here we go with some treasure chests now. Okay, now I'm going to want to take my time and make sure I get these. So I think what I'm going to do is worry about those first. Yeah. There we go. So there's 2 different methods you can use here. My personal favorite, bow and arrow. Now you won't have fire on that for long, but long enough to get you to that wooden platform there to burn it down and get your treasure chest. Score! Uh-oh. Of course you don't want to light yourself on the fire in the process like I just did. Good times. Sweet. I don't hear any more pings on my Sheikah slate, so I think we're good on that. Owie. Of course, I'm trying to save wear and tear on my weaponry. I think lighting myself on fire over and over is probably doing the opposite. So if you're really hurting for hearts here, just go ahead and throw yourself a bundle of wood down and light it with that fire arrow. And go ahead and feel free to roast up whatever you'd like, but word of caution on that, you're going to get some better ingredients as we go, and you want to try to bring with you to that cooking pot as much as you can. I want to say it's underground floor 6 that will have the cooking pot, so we're about halfway there now. Word of caution, there is a bomb barrel up there, if memory serves. I'm going to go up there and take a quick peek, see what's going on. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I was trying to weasel that spear right in between those bomb barrels. It didn't work out very well. I've had success with that in the past, but it's kind of hit and miss. I like how they get pissed off when you take their weapons. Good times. Owie. Okay, so a club's a bad idea. Two-handed weapons work best for these bobkins because you stun them every swing. I wasn't really thinking that far ahead just yet. I was hoping for more arrow drops. Every crate, every barrel. Minus the bomb barrels, of course. Oops. Here's where I really wish I had a sledgehammer. You can try to shove these things off the deck, but it's hit and miss on that as well. Sometimes they'll just bounce around down there. Every now and then you get a lucky break, but it seems like for the most part they just bounce around on the floor down there. You have to end up using your bombs anyway. And do take the time to pick up every last ingredient, because they are really, really limited in these trials here. Alright folks, it looks like that's about it for here. No treasure chests, unfortunately. Oops. Alright. Same idea here with these moblins. That two-handed weapon will give you good swing time. Do watch out for those bomb barrels. That's your worst enemy in a all-wooden challenge. Okay, good boy. Ow. Boy, I'm really not timing my attacks properly. I honestly thought there were more treasure chests in this first round than I thought. Okay, so I actually blew myself up in here before because I didn't see that guy right there. So, let's see what that does. This time I think I'll stand back a little bit, assuming I can see where I'm going. Cool. So, sneaky placement usually results in, of course, if you had detonated those bomb barrels, your meat would be cooked. However, you would have lost all the arrows. So, trade-offs. Well, that's about it for here. Moving on. You can take the time to bomb all these trees down. You'll get sticks and possibly acorns and such. But honestly, it's hit and miss. For the most part, you're not going to get too much of anything. Alright. If memory serves, the only thing in here is the Stone Talus. So take advantage of the time here, jump aboard. I'll assume you can get your character to stay on. That's unfortunate. There is a crate over there you can pick up and use for damaging your opponent here. I don't recommend it. It doesn't do a lot of damage. You might stun them, but so does an arrow to the sweet spot there. If you're having trouble hitting that sweet spot, just take a moment to climb a tree and get some air. That's what I recall. They were completely empty. They were pretty much just there for swinging art. Trying to damage him a little bit. Uh-oh. I missed. And if he throws you off, just keep repeating this process over and over until he's down. You don't necessarily have to have the soldier's broadsword for that, but it does speed the process up. Alright. Nothing beeping, we're out of here. Now, do be cautious of that fairy. It is very, very touchy. Just a little bit of a fast movement will scare him off. So you might have to do the creepy crawly thing until you get over there. And if he's a little too high for you, you could use that platform to jump off and get him. Just be aware if you're close enough and you don't catch him, that will scare him away. And there's one fairy at the first cooking pot, 2 fairies at the second one, and so on. And that's pretty consistent throughout all the underground floors. Now we're getting there. No luck with sledgehammers, that's unfortunate. So bombs it is. Oh, there should be fish over here, by the way. Yep. Do take advantage of those. Wow, boxes aren't super packed here, are they? Alright, we got what we got. So I like to prepare myself as best as possible. Most of that's going to be hearts, and I took a lot of silly damage there, so I might end up letting him come to my aid when the time arrives. This is all pretty much just for heart replenishment here. I really don't know what you would want speed boost for. I'm doing that more for the hearts. I want at least 4 for that high level attack power. You could probably cook all 3 of those and get mid-level. But I'm thinking at this stage I'm just more worried about defense. And stick to your 4 ingredient method, folks. You're going to get high level with 4 ingredients. You're going to sacrifice about 50 seconds or so. So that would have been a 4-minute, 10-second meal there, but I recommend using the 4 ingredients. You got to stretch those things out as far as you can in these challenges. Alright, so that's pretty much it. We'll see you guys back for the next round. Thanks for tuning in. Best of luck to everybody.